In a new book entitled Islamophobia, the Ideological Campaign Against Muslims, author Stephen Sheehy traces the roots of Islamophobia and discusses the purposes it serves.
It was only in the 1990s that it becomes coalesced into a sustained rhetorical attack on Muslims and Arabs as a character type, as a cultural type. And that is a time because that the United States had seized the mantle of being the unipolar power. So Islamophobia is directly linked to U.S. empire and globalization.
Sheehy is a Lebanese Christian born and raised in the United States. Growing up as an Arab American, he experienced racial discrimination of his own. In his book, he argues that Islamophobia is a continuation of a historical racism that has always existed in American society.
Islamophobia is comes out of a racial unconscious in the United States. The racial tropes that they will use for Muslims in the United States are ones that were used to stereotype blacks and Native Americans, and Latinos. So in this regard, it's a cultural formation.
Sheehy argues that as a result of this deeply entrenched Islamophobia, American Muslims will have little success in their current attempts to cooperate with authorities, as can be witnessed in recent revelations of FBI entrapment, informants, and targeting and profiling of Muslims, despite community leaders working with the FBI.
Undoubtedly, the American Muslim community is under siege at this moment, and they're desperately trying to work with authorities and work with the mainstream, but I also think that that's probably, you're not going to get them anywhere because they're often unable to see the larger political dimensions of Islamophobia.
Islamophobia is then seen as affecting American Muslims themselves, who Sheehy states are put in defensive positions vis-a-vis the general American public.
If you're a Muslim American, you're living in this sort of sense of enclosure where you're constantly trying to explain who you are and trying to explain away these stereotypes, when of course it shouldn't be your responsibility to explain other people's stereotypes about you.
An estimated 7 to 8 million Muslims live in the United States. With the upcoming presidential elections, Sheehy fears Islamophobic sentiments will be amplified by both the right and left of the U.S. political spectrum as they vie for popularity in winning American hearts and minds. Marjan Asi, Press TV, Washington.